Good morning, AEGEAN 600 race fans. I'm Dobbs Davis from Seahorse Magazine, giving you an overview of what's going on out on the race course. There's obviously a few boats that have finished. A couple of days ago, we had the leading Maxis break the course record. That was Leopard 100 and I Love Poland. We're pretty close together. And they finished when the Meltemi was still pretty strong throughout the area. The story more recently is that this Meltemi has dissipated in its strength. We have here in the tracker graphic the windy weather model overlay that's showing, as you can see, wind vectors here for their direction, and then the green coloring for the strength. And out here in the main part of the Aegean Islands, you know, the strength is sort of 10 to 15 knots-ish. But as you get further west in the last legs of the course, that wind gets pretty light. So I'll zoom in to show some detail here. Excuse me, what's been happening is some of these boats have really struggled in this very light wind. We can see that in their progress and in their tracks. For example, here's Bedouin is an Australian Swan 53, and at a whopping 0.7 knots, they're trying to get to the finish over here at Cape Suunyo, and it must be tantalizingly close, likely within sight, 6, 7, 8 miles away. What does it say here? Distance to finish is 4 miles. So again, that's got to be frustrating for them. This one is the multi-hull class, and this guy on lynx would be the leader of that class. However, by the direction it's pointed and its low speed, I kind of wonder what's happening here. They're not really going the right way. However, no progress is very fast here. We can see by the squiggles in their tails that they're struggling just to keep the boats moving. This boat, Fedro, is a Hansa 508, and for a long time they were actually leading in projected ORC scoring. They've got 10 miles left, and at 4.9 knots, they're actually making pretty good progress relative to those that were in this region and struggling yesterday late and early today, last night. This one, again, I don't quite understand the direction that the Icon has. If their speed is correct at 7.9 knots, then this boat's actually going pretty fast. But we'll see. 127 miles to go. These two here, Franzi and Ivana, they're certainly pointed the right direction, but their rate of progress at 3.7 and 3.3 knots is not blazing, but at least it's moving. They're moving and they're headed in the right direction. This one, again, I'm not quite sure what's happening here with La Pecadora from Germany, a Care 63, 1.8 knots. They too are probably just struggling to keep the boat moving in very light winds in this region. Over here in Mykonos, it kind of looks like a traffic jam going through this gate here between the islands. In years past, this has actually been a quite windy place, but with the light Meltemi here, it's not quite that. Although again, Lataka B from Israel is not speeding, but certainly moving along 5.5 knots. That's better than 0.7. Same thing with Rafika and X41. These guys up here, that's another multi-hull. 1.1 knots is not very impressive, but getting a multi-hull through this narrow gate upwind can't be easy. This XP44, Foxy Lady, they too were actually early leaders, and they're at 2.8 knots. They too are struggling with this light air. Maybe they're going up here well north of Rumline in search of more wind. Hard to know. And then these two here, I'm not quite sure what's going on. They could actually, it's possible they're anchored or something's going on, because we have seen in the past boats that have sought refuge in here for whatever reason. but there's another Swan 53 going 8.4 knots. They're certainly trundling along. So again, it's and these boats out here are also going pretty fast. They're beam reaching. There's still enough wind out here for them to make good progress. This is a Daler 30, a boat designed for double-handed sailing. Quite fast, 6.8 knots. So they're certainly moving along. Let's maybe I'll scroll out for a moment. There's a few other boats, stragglers back here. They too struggling with light air over on this Turkish side of the course, and it's dead upwind. So it's going to take them a while before they get around this island and get into the beam reaching that the others enjoy over here. I'm just going to look forward a little bit into the weather forecast and see if it looks like it's getting any better. It looks like it's getting a little. If we go into mid-afternoon today, you can see the greens get brighter. So at least out on this part of the course, it's looking good. However, these deep blues over here in the west worry me a bit because everybody who's come through Mykonos and are on their final approach are going to have to get through this area here somehow. We'll just go forward even more. Yeah, there's a big zone of no wind here, almost like an eddy off the main flow of the Meltemi. And look at that; it shifts to be even more upwind once we go into tomorrow in the early hours. So challenges ahead for the remaining fleet. Once they get there, they'll, I'm sure, be very happy. And we wish everybody who's out there good luck. We knew this was going to be a challenging race. It always is. And for those that are already in, well, welcome to Olympic Marine. And I'll be signing off for now. This is Dobbs Davis for Seahorse Magazine. And we'll try to give you a similar report at this time tomorrow.